Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you a Tyranids in tournaments kind of review. Full disclosure, let's be honest, I hadn't had a chance to watch many of the games if they were played on stream this past week or two. So if somebody actually was watching and wants to add further context, feel free to add that in the comments, please do. Um, on top of that, I was staying away from kind of making some of these videos because I honestly figured that everybody would do it, and I don't know, I guess this is a weird time for everybody. Everybody's busy with certain things right now. I don't know, maybe it's all compounding right now for a lot of people. But with that out the way that I like to do this is that I look at about the top 100 of the Tyranids faction when I go through these to see, what we can come to results. I will let you know now. Rocky Mountain Open. I'm debating how much attention I give each one of the lists because that goes on a bit longer. And also, if it says Invasion Fleet, I'm probably going to just quickly scroll. If there's anything interesting in it, then we'll talk about it. If it is Invasion Fleet, I am probably just going to keep it rocking because we've seen Invasion Fleet all edition. So, with that said, let's start talking about some Tyranids. Let's also start with Adepticon. This one just wrapped up, and then I'm going to go backwards. I figure that makes the most sense right now. People want to know what just happened. So, the best Tyranids player at Adepticon, we have Matthew Dennis. And Matthew was playing Invasion Fleet. We are going to see Low Squad of Raveners, Pyre 4. Alright. So, that's, hey, it is what it is. We're still on index. Probably going to be on index for a while. This one, I remember there being something interesting because not only is it Vanguard Onslaught, right? We didn't go for the triple brick of Gene Stealers. Only two of them. Only two. There's a Parasite of Mortrex with Stalker on it. And there's the Swarm Lord, Death Leaper, Von Ryan's Leapers, no Raveners, double Neurolictor, a Moloch, and a Trigon. And Venom Thropes. Venom Thropes is an interesting inclusion here. I I don't want to say like, oh, I've just did everything, but I talked about it in Leviathan. I think I don't remember if I even talked about this in Pariah Nexus. But if you're going to do, and the reason I said that is because the list previously for Vanguard Onslaught it was 30 Gene Lord, Gene Lords, Brood Lord, Gene Stealer, Bricks, three of those things, and then Warrior spam. So if you're taking that much infantry, you might as well take Venom Throats to give them stealth on top of it. It's interesting here because a lot of the list does have stealth, but if you're doing that literally just for your two bricks of Gene Stealers and you got 70 points to spare, I don't see the harm in it. Also interesting to see only one Lictor, but go for the double Neurolictor. Moloch and Trigon. Moloch has the uppy downy mortal wound bombs. I can only imagine that's why you keep it as one Moloch instead of double Trigon. And, we just talked about the changes and how Trigon can give a little bit more punch that Vanguard Onslaught was missing. Now, it should be noted that the Moloch does hit with Strength 8, AP2, Damage 1. Trigon is Strength 9, AP2, Damage 3. So maybe the 8 is enough. Maybe we're not going for the uppy downy on the mortals. Maybe just doesn't have a second Trigon, and instead of, I don't think you can proxy at Adepticon, to be honest. I could probably easily look that up, but we're just going to roll with that right now. Uh, Maybe that's just, well, I got two snakes, might as well see what one can do. And there is the chance that if the Mala comes back, you can trigger more Battle Shock test, and if they fail around a Neurolictor Aura, +1 to wound, as well as Surprise Assault giving that. So I can see the vision and I really like it. This was a really cool list. Just looking through things. Then and hey, look, 1 point off perfect game for twice. Twice, four twice, two times. 8 points off third 100. This is pretty good scoring when you're winning the game. Let's see what gave troubles. What was it? Oh my goodness. This was the best performing demons list at the tournament and was top. All right, you know what? We're gonna do this. Was top 8? Yeah, the number 4 player. So I think that's fine enough. I also wonder. I don't think I've ever considered what the Zinch matchup was for Vanguard Onslaught. That's interesting. Ah, wow, that's actually really interesting because the Zinch detachment has gotten a lot of flack for being inconsistent and scary for you as well as your opponent, right? And all these things. But I would imagine that the pressure out of Vanguard Onslaught changes those rules. I mean, you can pull from combat. Wow, that's interesting. That is really interesting. I want to know more about that. If William, if there's a chance that you see this video, and I'm sorry that you probably that's a really shitty thing to ask. Like, hey, can you talk about what happened there? But honestly, it probably comes down to not just being an ass, but a lot of things come down to if you've never played it before, because nobody's playing it. I could imagine that. But if William, you stumble upon this video and want to talk about any of the matches, please do. Please do. That's pretty cool. High scoring, and the only one is the number 4. I think what that was number 4. Whew, that's insane. Double Neurolictor, Moloch Trigon. Huh. Alright, so Neurolictors seem to be back in action. At least enough, right? Let's go over here to Spencer. And we have this was the double think tank list. Double think tank. And again, a parasite of Mortrex. Now, I really wish I could understand what is going on here with 80-point Parasite of Mortrex being included and not just a third Neurolictor, if I'm being honest. Like, okay, let's try to rationalize this. We got the 30 bomb, double lictor. Neuragon screen out. Biovore score points. Raveners VRL double think tank. Parasite of Mortrex. 80 points, no Stalker, and not a third Neurolictor. See, this is another thing that I would like to know more about. If you're going to be paying 80 points, why aren't we going for the third Neurolictor? It has about the same damage output of the Parasite of Mortrex, and it can trigger the Battle Shock test at a better time. Now, I guess the Parasite of Mortrex does have Deep Strike, can advance and charge to trigger the Battle Shock test, so it can get into better places. This is this is fascinating. Double Think Tank. That's 610 points for 2 units for 7 models. Well, 14 models. Oh, man. But hey, if it works, it works. And this is the other thing that if you're still at this point in the video, we see a shift in the detachments for Tyranids in these last 2 events, or these 2 events, I would say, for the ones that are best performing. So it's interesting. And even further interesting, thinking about it, I think the Neurolictor might be back because Sam Pope's Crusher Stampede win had double Neurolictor, if I remember correctly. Was that using new points though? I think that was using old points on top of that. Yeah, let's not say yeah. I want to say that was old points. So to that point, I think neurolictors are coming back. Does that mean that we're going to start winning things? I don't think so. I think it takes a little bit more for us than just the neurolictor, but going X and 1 at tournaments is better than going X and 2 or X and 3, right? So I don't know. People start looking at putting neurolictors back in list. This is so interesting to me. Sorry, this is interesting. Double VRLs too. You know I love to see them. Where do we leave off? Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Matthew's list. Vanguard Onslaught. Double Parasite of Mortrex. 3 bricks of Von Ryan's Leapers. Triple Lictor. Double Neurolictor. Double. No Broodlords. No Broodlords. 1 solo squad of Zoe's. 1 MSU of Zoe's. And a Norn Emissary. And where'd we go? 1 loss. X and 1. That's Vanguard Onslaught. Now, here's the other thing. Alright. Hive Tyrant with wings. What program is this that this got exported out of? I'm assuming it's a translation thing. No. No. Not a translation thing. No options. Anybody know what program this was? Because why does it pop up as Hive Tyrant with wings instead of Winged Hive Tyrant for the export? Interesting. And Lash Whip and Monstrous Bone Sword instead of Monstrous Bone Sword and Lash Whip? Maybe I'm misremembering that that's how that weapon is worded, but I know it's Winged Hive Tyrant, right? Anyway, Norn Emissary. You might be wondering why Norn Emissary and Vanguard Onslaught. Well, uh, in my humble opinion, it's probably for seeded broods. If you can put a Norn on its on in objective or get it to the objective faster, turn 1 coming out of reserves, yeah, I think you do that. And when you have 18 bodies at least infiltrating, sorry, 20, 21 bodies at least. I know they can, but who knows what's going on here. Guaranteed 21 bodies infiltrating. Yeah, I think you can get your Norn on the objective and have staying power. I think you can do that. So, like to see that. Then we go on to Invasion Fleet. Another double Neurolictors back. A lot of Zoe's. Okay, hold on. We gotta talk about this one. We gotta talk about this one. We have to talk about this one. Uh, no Hive Tyrant. Double Neurolictor. Max Squad Pyrovores. 3 MSU Zoes. For newer players, when I say MSU, that's I could mean it's actually 2 things, but when I'm referring to it as uh, minimum small unit, basically. So, or many small units. Either way, it's the least you can take of it. So, the fact that we have 9 Zoes and 3 different squads is interesting. 6 Carnifexes, only 1 Old 1 Eye. 2 Exocrines, a Haruspex, and a Trigon. Holy, and no Hive Tyrant, right? Like let's go back to the fact that we sprung for another pair of Carnifexes and no Hive Tyrant, and went X and 1. Technically, right? That's astonishing, really. Let's see. Well, no, let's not dive too. I don't want to single anybody out. Going over to Trevor. We have Invasion Fleet, Quick Scroll, Double Norn. No, sorry, this is not the Double Norn Emissary list. This is single Screamer Killer with Zoe's Melee Warriors, MSU again. Okay, small unit spam. Okay, there's 1 Neuro Tyrant for some Zoes. Are there Neurogons here? Norn time. Okay, Trevor, we see you. And last of top 100 Tyranids break. Invasion. Alright, Neurolictor. Okay, I think Neurolictors are back. I think it's safe to say that. I mean, okay, hold on. Let's reel that back for a second and talk about it. Um, Naturally, when something goes down, everybody's going to try it. And I'd say that these are fair enough results that you do consider it for 80 points. I know that's still too high for a lot of people. It took me a while to stop taking Neurolictor even at 90 points when that change happened because I was still like gung ho about it, so I'm probably more biased towards including it if I'm being frank. But, for what it's worth so far, we're looking at decent enough results that you might do that. You might do that. So, Adepticon. Takeaways, Vanguard Onslaught, Neurolictors, maybe Parasite of Mortrex. Maybe Parasite of Mortrex. There was, what, three of the Vanguard Onslaught list? And even further to that, um, I can't criticize, right? I can't criticize because, did the thing or whatever. I'm just really trying to understand why it's not better served as a Neurolictor in this case. Um, you do get advance and charge, and you can tie something up more or less with the chance of a battle shock test. And then if that fails, you still have surprise assault on the back foot. Seated Brood, deep strike early somewhere. Hmm. What else can we get out of there? It is infantry, so you can't get precision on it. Uh, it's a grab bag, and that's I guess worth exploring some more. If anybody out there is tinkering with Vanguard Onslaught, maybe you do look to include a Parasite of Mortrex. But if you're willing to do those tests, uh, maybe see if third Neurolictor is not just better served. You have a lot of uppy downy. I really don't know if you need the deep strike, but again, if any of you all that have included the Parasite of Mortrix in this situation, please feel free to add your comments and your insight on why that happened, because it happened more than once, right? There has to be a reason for it that maybe I'm too negatively biased to see. So, you know, that's Adepticon. Going back to the Rocky Mountain Open, best performing for us was Crusher Stampede. And this was what, triple Norn, if I remember? Yes, triple Norn, double Ripper Swarm. And this is where I'm going to yell at everybody, because how is it that the fucking Crusher Stampede list can use two Ripper Swarms and the Assimilation Swarm list still can't do it? I don't figure, I don't know. I don't know. One less Tyran effects. Interesting that it's not double Rupture Cannon. It's one Rupture Cannon, one Acid Spray. Can't really I don't fault that at all. But there was an interesting talking point that I saw recently. I want to say it was Reddit, but it was if you are using a Tyrannifex with Acid Spray, do you need to be? It's basically at 200 points. That was a talking point. I think the person was still on 190 points talking about it. Um, but it's, do you do 200 points for a profile that we're okay with dealing with? So it is interesting to see that, sprung for one rupture, one acid spray. But to that point, I've talked about how you really don't need that many rupture cannons. Uh, that's why I've never liked the three rupture cannon Tyran effects. But I don't know. Do we need acid spray? Do we need rupture cannon? Who knows? But back to yelling at the greater hive mind. Hey, if the fucking Crusher Stampede list can use Ripper Swarms, put it in your fucking Assimilation Swarm list. Holy. That's a best place one. Now, let's go on. Invasion Fleet. Anything stand out right now? Triple Tyrannifex and then three Zoes? we were worried about something with the Neurotyrant 2. We were worried about not being able to punch through armor, I see. Rupture Cannon, double Rupture Cannon, one Acid Spray, 200 points. Interesting. I wonder what we prepped for. And that's like not shots. I mean, genuinely, I wonder what this person's main concern was when they were going into the tournament. I wonder what they were specking for. Because this was using new points. And it's not like you were. Like, orcs trucks don't necessarily need rupture cannon level of inclusion. What else could we have been worried about? Ultramarines? Maybe. Interesting. Moving on. Crusher Stampede. Norn Tyrannifex Double Rupture Cannon. Alright. Gargoyles for taste. Going further. Sorry, I'm going to pick up speed on Rocky Mountain because there's a bit more. Is this one? Da, da, da. Alright, Invasion Fleet. Oh, here's the Warrior Bioform Onslaught list that we did see on stream. This was on War Games Live versus Lions of the Emperor Adeptus Custodes, and this was interesting. Went 4-2, and I believe on stream this was like it was less than 5 games on the detachment, so it was interesting to take it to 4-2. And what was even more interesting was watching how they played it, because when you hear Warrior Bioform Onslaught, I'm thinking that you're going to try, and hey, this is on me, right? Let's make this is on me, not anybody else. This is me being stupid, okay? When I hear Warrior Bioform Onslaught, I'm assuming that you're going to warrior all over people, right? But watching the list play, it was doing what warriors have to do, which is hang back because you can't go too far out because it's easier for you to be picked up. And also, this is another curious thing where because the detachment that was chosen, I wonder if this would literally better serve you in other places. As I've said about Warrior Bioform Onslaught overall, but there was a point where there was like 6 command points to be spent, or maybe it was like 4. Either way, both of the players got very high up in command points just to spend. Because if you're playing Warrior Bioform Onslaught and your warriors haven't gone anywhere, you're not really having a time to spend the points. Let's see, was there exocrines in this list? There was no exocrines, there was one Maleceptor, 2 Tyrannifexes. So, it's not to say that we were spending the command point every turn on making our exocrine strength 11. And I don't want to knock this person. This is just the only time that we've seen this detachment do this well, really, on a stream that I was watching. I saw one other, and results got kind of scrapped. I don't really know what happened there, but or I couldn't find it. I know it existed. I know I saw it with my own eyes, but here, whatever. So I'm sorry that Colin, you have to be the herald of Warrior Bioform Onslaught knowledge right now. But only time I've actually seen it. If a lot of you are out there watching it all the time at your local game store, hey, I can't fault you. Also, interesting to see double Hormagaunts instead of like what people immediately were thinking with this detachment as Termagants. That way, something benefits from the fucking rerolls because you're putting next to the melee. And we also see an interesting breakdown here. We see one max squad of melee warriors, 2 MSU, 1 max of ranged. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2 max of ranged. Okay, sorry. It broke down for a second and my eyes weren't ready for that, I guess. Um, yeah, that's alright. Yeah, it was interesting. It's interesting. And even further, there was a lot in that game. I remember Swarmlord just lived just shit that he should not have lived. It was that was absurd. So, you take out the dice aspect of the dice game. It was an interesting watch. It certainly was entertaining. I'd give you that much. It was definitely entertaining. But I do wonder if you take this exact list, make an invasion fleet. I know, I hate it too. Would it help you more? Right? Now, there was a time where they did something cool. They were able to respawn a warrior in a position that they needed, more or less, to score points or make the charge. I don't remember what exactly it was. It's one of the two. But that respawn of a warrior kind of clutched up. But to that point, I see double psychophage. If you take out, I see venom tropes. If you take like one or two things out and add maybe some pyrovores or ripper swarms, would this be better in assimilation swarm? And that way, any of your units can do it every turn instead of one command point, bringing one back in the time. But that does require you to manage your ranges better with Harvester and yada yada yada. So, you know, I just wonder if this exact list could be somewhere else purely because of the fact that we weren't using command points, and that's not that sometimes is how the game plays out, and also something I've yelled at Crusher Stampede players for. When yes, you brought an entire Crusher list, more or less, because we still added fucking 50 million lictors and other bullshit, but more or less a Crusher Stampede list, and you go, hey, I don't know what to spend command points on. And it's just like, why don't you? You have this awesome suite of things. So, maybe the situation just didn't call for spending command points. That's um, perfectly reasonable as well. So, it was an interesting watch. It was definitely an interesting watch. And I wonder if Colin would do this again. If somebody can make me eat crow about Warrior Bioform Onslaught, fuck it. Let's have it. Tell me why I'm bad and that this detachment is good. Let's go for it. So, that was pretty cool. Going on, let's see, got to pick it up because I spent a while on that. Invasion fleet, term against double Norn. This was the double Norn list. Okay. Um, Gabe, what we have here? Invasion fleet, double Norn, cool. Triple Norn. No, double, double. Um, Neurolictor though. Interesting. That was Gabe. Jake, where we at, Jake? Invasion fleet, double Norn. Okay, double Norn was at Rocky Mountain in a bit of force. Fair enough. Double melee warrior bricks too. Matt Evans. Assimilation swarm. Yes. 20 neurogons. Sorry, 22 neurogons. Ripper swarms. Hey, look at that. Look at that. The double tyrant guard build. Venom thropes. Alrighty, alrighty. I should have more to say about this, but I kind of don't because it's the assimilation swarm that we've kind of seen. Like the neuroguns is an interesting inclusion. Double neurolictor is also good inclusion here. That I wonder how Matt sees them, because one of the things that I've liked is that +1 to wound from Broodguard Impulse, +1 to wound with neurolictors. That means that there should be a lot of things on your opponent's side that are +1 to wound against, like you're playing fucking uh Rabute Gilliman, the Codex Marines right now, and then you're healing, and they're not scoring points because they're also hopefully battle shock because of the Neurolictor and some other things. So, I see the vision. I personally, after hearing a lot of people talk about their Tyrant Guard expeditions being kind of done, that's where I think I would go, hey, maybe I need to look other places. Like, I do wonder if both of these Tyrant Guard bricks, drop both of them. One of them becomes a Norn assimilator, one becomes another Psychophage or something. Where'd that get you? Aura Heart specs, let's see, 125 plus, what are we at for Norn assimilator now? 270, right? So what were we at? 395. So yeah, you would need to find 70-ish more points to do it. But yeah, like 70 points to do it. Who knows? So that's Matt's list. Then we go on. Matt was final of top 100. Cool. And then finally, we have the South Coast Super Major that I did not cover. Jimmy, what we got? Invasion Fleet, Norn, John. How we doing? How we doing? Assimilation Swarm, no screens. I know just what you're saying, so please just stop explaining. Don't tell me what will hurt. No screens. I know what you're thinking. I don't need your reasons. Don't tell me this will hurt. All right. Don't know what song that's from. And I know if somebody will tell me or I Google it, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. So we're not gonna do that right now. Uh, Double Tyrant Guard Assimilation Swarm list. Yep, sounds about right. John Kobe. Kobe. Does anybody still do that? Did I just show my age even further? Raise you a Norn or two. Double Norns. All right. Double Raveners. MSU. Uh, I'm sorry that I'm just now really looking at the list names. And the final one to wrap up is Peter. Peter, what we doing? Invasion Fleet. Oh my god. Oh, that's a lot of little gribblies. Gene Stealer Bricks. Our specs. Venom Throbes. Zoes. Do we have a Neuro Tyrant? Yes, we do. Think Tank. I like that. I like this one. That was Peter. I like this. Hey, Peter. Sorry. I guess my brain is starting to walk away from me at this point. But Venom Thrope's a lot of small inclusion. Bring them back. Gene Stealers. 5 of Feel No Pain. Zoe's for the 6 up Invuln. 2 on top of it. Yeah. I like this. So overall, what we've seen, I think it's safe to say that Neurolictors have a place back. Um, Crusher takeaways. I think Norns definitely have been appealing enough now that people are taking them and getting good enough results with them, right? And is there anything else? Like a major one? So, oh yeah, sorry, back to this. So in Adepticon, we see Vanguard Onslaught. Rocky Mountain, we saw Crusher. South Coast, that was what, Invasion Fleet for the most part. So, uh, between those, it's looking better. It's looking better. Don't know where we'll end up, but it's looking better. So, try more Neurolictors in your list, and I guess I need to try Parasite of Mortrex again in Vanguard Onslaught. I'm telling you, I still still don't see it in Synaptic Nexus too tough. But hey, maybe that advancing charge, maybe the uppy downy see the brute. I don't know. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll figure it out. When I finally have time to figure it out. So don't expect those results to come from me anytime soon, I guess. But yeah, we'll see what's going on here. Use your Neurolictors, use your fucking Ripper Swarms, and I hope that's cool. So if you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.